Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, a follow-up on that Canadian Pacific that I derusted in vinegar, and I just wanted to do a quick video on this. Now, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to save this, and as you can see, 99.9% of the rust is gone. And this side in particular was really bad and really pitted, and even the pitting is gone. So this is now smooth as glass, both sides, as you see. Really discolored from the rust, but you can see how bad this rust was. I mean, this thing was rusted really, really badly. Surprisingly enough, the vinegar has no effect on aluminum or on the nickel plating. It didn't affect it at all. I had no idea what the reaction would be, but no problem at all with it. Didn't affect it at all. Didn't discolor it, didn't change it, didn't do anything to it. The aluminum is actually quite clean and shiny. But as you can see, 99.9% of that rust is gone. So I just pulled this thing out. So I will spray this with WD-40, and that'll prevent any hoar rust from forming. But as you can see, 99.9% of that rust is gone. And now I can go ahead and repaint it without having to use a textured paint, because that vinegar has removed all of the rust. This is just absolutely smooth, which is really, really surprising. And this side in particular was really, really, you can see still how discolored it is in these spots. How bad this was. This thing was just eaten alive with rust. And it had been sitting in a cardboard box, a damp cardboard box, for years and years and years. And when I got it, I pulled it out and thought it wasn't even worth doing a video on. This thing was just absolutely eaten alive with rust. Anyway, I will get this cleaned up and spray it with WD-40, and it will be ready to paint. And I don't think I'll have to use textured paint. This actually came out really, really well. Surprisingly well. I did not think that that vinegar was going to work as well as it did on this. Surprisingly enough, it did not remove the paint. There's still excess paint here. Now, I took the paint off yesterday with oven cleaner. You just cover this thing with oven cleaner, let it set for 10-15 minutes, and use a Scotch-Brite and hot water, and you can just wipe the paint off. It's really, really simple. It only takes a few minutes to do it. And there's no great amount of work, literally. That oven cleaner just eats through the paint down to the bare steel. Of course, it did not affect the rust at all. And so when I put this in vinegar, I had my doubts that I was going to be able to save this. I thought for sure I'd have to repaint it with textured paint. But as you can see, this is just absolutely smooth as glass. Now, I haven't done anything to it. I didn't have to sand it. I didn't have to scrape it. I didn't have to do anything to it. That vinegar just really, really derusted this. 5% vinegar. And if you look back at the video, you can see how dark that vinegar had turned. So it made a tremendous difference, just absolutely tremendous difference in this Canadian Pacific stamped steel body. This thing was just literally eaten alive with rust. So vinegar works, there's no doubt about that. 5% vinegar, acetic acid, has a great affinity for iron oxide and actually converts it into ferric acetate. And it just lifts it off the metal because it's not rust anymore. So it works really, really well. Anyway, I just want to do a quick follow-up video on this. So I will oil this really well, scrub it with a soft brush, let it dry, pull the handrail off, and it will be ready to paint. I'll just mask off the front and then repaint this. And I don't have to use textured paint because this has really, really been derusted. Still really discolored, as you see, but it's not pitted, it's not rough, it's just absolutely smooth as glass. Still really discolored, but the rust is gone. It's actually quite incredible that it worked as well as it did. Anyway, I just want to do a follow-up video on this. As always, if you have a question, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.